Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Car Audio Talk, the podcast. I'm Dean.
And I'm Fernando.
And today we have another topic for you. And actually, this is a viewer question.
Okay.
From one of the Patreons,
I'm
wrote
excited.
this question in. Now, a little bit about the podcast, in case you're wondering what it's about and you've never heard it before. We pick one topic. It's more or less loosely car audio related. And I say loosely because it could be about anything. It could be technical. It could be just basic knowledge. It could be
Hamburgers, pizza, anything.
You know, what kind of food you eat on break when you're being a car stereo. So someone's
Break.
referred to this as common sense. Yeah, exactly. But, you know, the thing of it is we talk about it. If you listen, thank you so much. If you don't, well, hey, you know, thanks for giving us a try, and we'll move on with that.
Wait,
you can also,
if you want to watch
the
these
live
podcasts,
version.
exactly.
That's right. Us standing here talking to this microphone. You can become a Patreon, in which case you'll get a video version of this podcast, and they're the only ones. Otherwise, you just get to listen to it, which is fine.
Yeah.
And thanks for doing it. Anyways, let's get on with the show. Like I said, today we have a viewer question.
What's the question?
It's brought to us by Wolf Wilson.
So
Yep.
literally, you have...
And I'm going to read this. It's a big paragraph. And forgive me because, as we all know now, texting on the phone, most people talk. I don't know. My daughter, Haley, tells me people talk and text.
Yeah.
Which I find totally funny because it's like, just call the person. But talking and texting kind of screws everything up, so I'm going to try to read this the best that I can. And it has, you know what I mean. Everyone is, yeah. All right. I'm mumbling.
Hit it.
I can no longer call you Mr. Dean and Mr. Fernando. I will call you both Professor Dean and Professor Fernando. I didn't get the education, but cool. I'll take that.
Thank you.
The knowledge you two give us is amazing. Thank you. I know that I would not be able to extend the vast appreciation of finding your channel and realizing how much I did not know or even could wrap my head around all that goes into great quality car audio installs and more. Then having my dash just vomit paired with T-nuts and no one will see it attitude. Okay, we've seen that plenty. I would love to attempt to get a mere tenth of the knowledge and skills that you two have. That would make me happy. But I know being your new student now, my professors, you guys, never settle for knowing enough. And we don't. We're constantly learning. And we're constantly sharing it with you guys. Therefore, I come back every show to tap into, learn a little bit more from, and better myself by the things you teach me and others that watch the show. Thank you. So, my question now, professors. This is going to be the point. I'm having a tough time talking apparently.
The point of the show.
This is the point of the show. We're getting to it. I had to read the other stuff because, let's be honest, that was the fluff.
Yes.
And I appreciate it.
That's good.
And I like
good.
the fluff because it builds me up for this question that's coming.
Yeah.
So my question now, professors, this is a good one. How can I build patience? And this is what I mean when we started the show and I said this is loosely built around car audio. Because we're going to talk about patience today. And not just patience. All right, so back to the question. I will not interrupt anymore. How can I build patience? Is that why you run, Professor Dean? Or why you dance, Professor... Jesus.
Yeah.
Mumble dog face through banana patch. Is that why you run, Professor Dean? Or why you dance, Professor Fernando? I'm being very serious here because in the world of editing, it seems everything works out flawlessly and I never see you two simply walk away, throw a wrench, or drop an F-bomb. So as your student in your class trying to learn a skill and a craft in a seldom hands-on world, how do you not get discouraged when projects go longer than expected or don't turn out so well? And then thank you for teaching me. This is a wonderful question, and we're going to address it in several different aspects of that question.
Yeah.
Okay? Oh, yeah. Let me put it on vibrate. Good call. Okay. So, first things first, let's talk about dropping F-bombs. Because if you ever meet me in person, the one thing you're going to notice right away is that dropping F-bombs is a day-to-day thing.
Yes.
We made a choice when we first decided to do this show that we were going to cut profanity out of it. We figured there was enough profanity already on the internet.
Yep.
And then we also found out that a lot of kids with their parents watch the show.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the guy that teaches your kid how to swear.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as a parent, that's something you should take great pleasure in doing yourself, all the creative ways that you can use profanity.
Yes.
So we made that choice. So that means that when I stub my toe or something that doesn't go according to plan, you just kind of bite your tongue.
Yeah.
But that's why you don't hear us cuss on the show. Every now and then, if you're on a live show, you might hear me drop some cuss words.
Yeah.
Like there was that one show where I dropped the F-bomb.
And this is what the magic of the editing becomes awesome, because then you caught it.
Yeah, because, well, there was that one show where you were like, you cussed as you leaned because it was like, and you said, whatever you said. I think it was the S word.
Say,
don't repeat it.
I'm of this car already.
It was, And it was like a yawn. And I could barely hear it. And I totally missed it when I was listening with my headphones, which was funny. But, dude, people caught it right away.
Oh, my God.
So I had to go back into the video and edit out that 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds, it was like 2 seconds of you going and dropping a cuss word. So there's plenty of places online and plenty of other guys that cuss. We just didn't think that was something we wanted to have part of our show.
No.
But don't feel bad. If you ever get to meet me in person, I will make up for it.
And this is every day, people. Every day.
Believe me. You never cuss. Yeah, okay. But anyways, so that's that. Now, as far as patients go, and let's talk about throwing tools.
Okay.
Okay, that is something that I've never done. No. Regardless of how upset I am, tools cost too much. Yeah. Tools bounce. Yeah. Customers' cars are around.
Yes.
The biggest priority for me when we pull a car into the install bay is the safety of that car.
Correct.
Okay? Both interior and exterior. That is the most important thing. Nothing will just ruin my day as if we, by some chance, manage to mess up somebody's car. Either break a piece, scratch something, whatever happens. That just is not a feeling I like at all, as most of you wouldn't. So
some people say you guys treat our cars like how you guys treat you cars.
I want to think we treat them better.
No, we actually treat your cars better than how we treat our cars.
Yeah.
Because, like we put steering wheel covers, seat covers, everything. We try to...
you plan for the mistake so that if it does happen, you've tried everything.
Yeah.
As far the one thing that will always get you is being lazy. Okay, if you're lazy and like you don't put that seat cover on, or you don't put that steering wheel cover on, or the gear shift cover, or you don't get out of the car and grab a piece of carpet so you don't scratch something, that's when you break or scratch, and it's nothing more than you're too lazy to get out of the car. So, and we're human.
And you know what? Now that when I start working in here, you're like, hey, you gotta keep in mind, every time you drive a car, you have to see the dash, you have to see this, you have to teach yourself. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, look for the trouble lights.
So it's the same. Cars come in here
and check your pockets.
Check everything, and what do? The first thing is grab the seat cover, steering wheel,
dress the car appropriately,
everything. And sometimes I forgot, and then you're like, dude, how do you start working in the car and the steering wheel cover is not in? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. But there's something that I have to, you have to teach myself.
Yes,
that
it becomes second nature. Yes. It has to become second nature, for sure. And the other thing, too, is always check your back pockets. A lot of people like to set their tools in their back pockets. Yep. So when you get into a car, if you got a screwdriver sitting in your back pocket, guy's got a nice leather seat. Well, now he's got a nice leather seat with a screwdriver stuck into it. So that was something I learned, not by doing, but by someone else taught that one to me. They're like, always make sure you check your pockets. If you have a belt, make sure that your belt is covered. If you have to wear one, put side skirts on. Always protect the vehicle. So if it comes back to the original thing, throwing tools, not gonna happen. Because and the other thing too is your tools are how you make your living. So as pissed off as that you could possibly get, never take it out on your tools. Never take it out. I think as men we all learn that when something didn't go our way and we punched the wall,
But you know what? I believe he mentioned that I never see you guys throwing a wrench or something.
Well, we never will in person
we never
or
will.
in the videos.
But it's because some of these shows in TV,
Yeah.
what do they do when they have that drama? Grab the stuff and throw it away.
Well,
and
not
I'm
every
like, I'm
show's
outta here,
not
blah,
every
blah,
show's the Orange County
blah.
Choppers
No.
anymore.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah.
some of these
Yeah,
shows
because it was
is like,
cool.
oh my god, you know, he
Right.
pissed, he dropped everything, and we're not like that. You
So-
know, like Dean, when he get really like Hulk. You know,
What do I get?
Like Hulk.
Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Hulk.
You know, all green, like crazy.
Okay.
You know, he just like, hey, just don't bother me. Let me do my thing, and that's it. You know, and he caused and everything, but I never see him just grab a harness and or something and just drop it. No, man. I mean,
I'm not going to take my frustrations out on inanimate objects, which we'll get to that part in a little bit as far as frustration relief.
Yeah.
You know,
and I see a lot of things when you get mad.
Oh yeah, and you never get upset. Anyways, what I was gonna say is, you know, because everything is a story. So obviously, I've been doing this a long time, and I've had various installers and employees work for me over the years. And one of the things is smoking. Neither one of us smoke. I don't drink. I don't, you know, we don't do drugs. I don't smoke pot. You know, and if that's your thing, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't judge anybody for whatever it takes to get them through the day.
That's fine.
As long as it doesn't affect my life, I'm cool with it.
Correct.
But I've had employees that worked for me that would smoke, so they get frustrated, and I know they get frustrated because they'd go out for that smoke break, and it was like, why? It's like, dude, you know, you just took a smoke. Why? And I'd go out there, but what's the problem? Oh man, you know, just puff, puff, blow. This is just driving me crazy. And it's like, I'd have to have this conversation over. It's like, look, your job is to do. My job is to figure this stuff out if you're having a hard time. What is the problem? I'll walk over there. I'll fix their issue. They'll smoke another cigarette, and they'll get back to work. So the story or the moral to this is not to kill yourself with smoking, but sometimes you just need to step away for a minute and just kind of rethink, reevaluate, take a sip of water, eat some trail mix, and then approach the problem again.
Yeah, I grab my chips and salsa and it's like,
so
better.
you know that's one of the reasons why we close at 6:30 and we're try to be out. If we're working on a car, we will try to be out of here by 7.
Correct.
Because we've been working all day.
Yeah.
And whatever happens past that point, we've got too many hours in. It's kind of like truck drivers and pilots for airplanes. There's a certain amount of time that you can work and a certain amount of time that you need to not work because your brain just can't
Your brain
take
is like, okay, I'm
And
tired, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a Superman and just want to hammer this stuff out and work till 3 o'clock in the morning and not, you know, do a 36-hour day or anything, more power to you. But your work is going to show. It's going to show in your work. Whether you think it is or not, it's going to show in your work, it's going to show in your attitude, and it's going to show in your performance level. You can work hard while you're there, do 110% as they say, or 150% or 200%, whatever analogy you want to use. But then you also just have to walk away from it. Yeah. You have to have your downtime. And for me, downtime is important. We work 6 days a week.
Correct.
We put in some stupid amount of hours. I need to walk away from it. You need to walk away from it. We need to recharge our batteries. We don't get enough time to do that as it is, but there's no reason to make it any worse.
Correct.
So never take it out on the car. It's not the car's fault if you don't know how to do something or if something is, just walk away from it, count to 10.
Yeah.
You know, walk around the building once if you need to, and then come back at it. But try to put it in perspective is what you're doing.
You know, it's funny that you say that. We doing something over here, and I mean, now that you say, you know, just step out of it, walk outside. We never do that. You know, we just walk, and it's like, okay, hang on, just give me a minute. Let me think about it again, and let me see how we can do it. And then it's like.
A lot of times,
right,
too, when you're frustrated, I'll sense you're frustrated, and I'll just walk over there and I'll be like, what's the problem?
What is the problem? And then
you'll be like this, and I'll be like, it's just do this.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh.
Okay.
And then you'll be like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And it's something simple.
Yeah.
And even for me, when I'm just like, I'll be just staring at something like a fuse holder mount. I'll just be staring at it, and I'll just be like, you know, and I'll be like, hey, come look at this and tell me what you would do. because I know what I would do, and I don't want to build what I would do. And then you'd look at it and you go, I would do this, and I'd look at that and I go, either I would do that or that would lead me down another path. We'd play off each other. That's the nice thing about having
and sometimes
working
it's
on a
because
car
like
that way.
you like you say, you working and working and working. You're like, your mind is like, okay, man, just give me a break. I just need like 2-3 seconds to reboot the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you're staring at this. What should I do? And then somebody come with the fresh mind. Doing something. It's like, hey, what about you don't grab it from there or here? And you're like, oh yeah, why not? Boom.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy.
Well, just like 10 minutes ago when I was looking for the power adapter.
Where's the
I
power
know
adapter?
where it's supposed to be, but my mind is not moving past that. And I know I put it someplace else.
Open the drawer.
And it's in the drawer. Hey, we actually put it away.
Exactly.
So
no, but it's like, that's what we do, and
it makes so
you don't
anybody
have to
that's
go
struggling
crazy.
with that, sometimes just basic. There again, this is just common sense stuff.
Yeah, use grab water, drink it,
get back to it.
Get back to it.
Now, as far as filming goes, all right, well, we'll come back to that at the end. We'll talk about when we're filming and stuff like that. Now, as far as things that we do outside of work to release the stress. I run. Right now I'm not running at time of this recording because apparently I hurt myself. So apparently,
you're not sure?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. So it's been a struggle for me for the last 2 weeks, and it's really hitting me hard because it's the thing I do to relax, to unwind, to get ideas for shows, to just keep me, as I like to say, keep me from killing people. And I haven't been able to do it for 2 weeks, and it's just been, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. So
the stress
is really boiling over and getting to me. And last night was the first night I tried to run, got 10 feet, and said this is going to work. So I said screw it. I went to the gym and rode the bike because the bike doesn't hurt. So I think for the foreseeable future, until whatever I've done to myself heals, I will be riding a bike for a long amount of time.
And that's why I told you, at least you do something.
Yes.
You're not just in the house. And,
because it's like I go home now and it's like I want to go put on my shoes that are sitting there, and and it just pisses me off. Something fierce. And no, that bottles up inside of you. And as far as like patience and and then your wife is like, why are you upset? And it's like, because there's something I want to do and I physically can't do it.
Right.
And it's like, just don't talk to me. So everyone needs to find that release. And like we were talking about it this morning. And you were like, I miss going to the gym. And I go, well, let's be honest. It's not that you miss going to the gym. Your thing now is your son.
My kid,
he's my kid. It's your son. He's not a goat. The goat is a baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The kid is a baby goat. You have a son.
A baby.
He's your son.
It's 2 years old. It's a baby.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's my son. Right now my son is. I get home and he just want to play, and. Like, okay, let's go play, Let's do
it's
something.
the simple things, though. It's like you're not worried about this, you're not worried about that. To him, the most important thing is, listen, Dad, you've been gone all day, and now that you're here, listen, there's this pile of cars over here, and what we need to do is we need to take those cars, we're going to make room noises, and we're going to smash 2 of them together, okay?
Exactly.
So what I want you to do is pick out your 2 favorite, I'm going to pick out my 2 favorite, and we're going to ready, practice with me, and we're going to smash them together. Okay, sound like ready? You ready, Dad? Ready, Dad? Let's go.
Play.
Come on.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, and that's great, because, I mean, when Haley was young, that was my thing. It was like I couldn't wait to get out of work, to go home, and just see what kind of silliness she got into that day.
But sometimes also, like, you're a parent, you have kids and everything. Sometimes I believe you have to have like that little bit and say, you know what, let me go to the gym, let me run, let me go to the store at least and just drive around.
Well, thankfully, I'm past that point. So
right.
I'm my life is
that's my perspective.
You,
sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me go to the store.
Well, you sit in your car after work for 15 minutes surfing on the internet.
Yes, because and it's not because I want to. That's the time that I have to check Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff.
And not be bothered.
Exactly, because as soon as I get home,
it's playtime.
He's like, hey, listen, let's go play.
Right.
So I have to help.
Yeah.
doing something. So it's like, okay.
Well, JJ at AV, we'd all leave, and then he'd stay at work for a half hour and take a nap. With all the lights off, he would just sit in the corner and take a half hour nap before he went home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
okay.
the strangest thing. And he didn't tell anybody. I found out by accident.
Okay.
And he'd just take a nap in the corner of the store, put his feet up, put it back, it'd be quiet, no noise. And he'd just sit there and he'd just unwind and relax, and then he'd go home and he
never just went more than half hour.
Well, I didn't ask him,
Oh my God! It's 5 in the morning.
Well, no, I think he set his watch.
Okay.
But either way, the point is his thing was just sitting there, calming down, just forgetting about the day. Is really quiet in there. So that's what worked for him. So you definitely have to find something to take your mind off of it, and it can't, like a hobby. Hobby is one thing. Hobby, like photography, is a hobby. Video editing and all this stuff is a hobby. Saltwater basket weaving, that's a hobby. I don't know. Made it up.
Dancing is a hobby.
Dancing is a hobby. Hobbies are fine, but you need something else that will physically just tax your body and just wear you out. Playing with your kid will wear you out.
Yeah, because you're not dancing every day.
No, you can't. So it has to be something that you can just...
Like what you do, you're running every day. That's good because... That mind is not. Well, I'm sure he's weird, but your mind is working. You're running, and you like. That's what the ideas came.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is what I can do. This is what I.
Right, exactly. Because when we're standing here in the morning, it's like, hey, this is how my night went, and I go, okay, cool. This is what I thought about. This is what I thought about.
I was running last night.
Yeah, exactly.
And I came out with this idea. What do you think?
Yeah.
So definitely, that's the thing that you actually enjoy every day. You have your mind running, and then you think about the stuff. It's work, but it's something that when you're running,
it just takes
you
your
don't
mind
have that
off.
pressure.
No,
No. So
now, as far as the videos go, as far as the perfect little world that we create for the videos, meaning that's like. There again, we made a conscious decision when we went into the install bay, which was 100% Fernando's idea. It was not mine. I fought it tooth and nail. I did not want to go into the install bay. Fernando was like, we have to go into the bay. We have to go into the bay. And I was like, no. We ended up in the bay. And one of the things that we decided...
Yes.
Yeah, one of the things... It's been great. Kudos to you, buddy. So one of the things that we decided early on was what we were going to show and what we weren't going to show. We wanted to make sure that everything looked extremely professional because this is how we work. Like what you see is how we work, whether we're filming or not filming, or there's plenty of Instagram pictures we put up of our day-to-day that we just don't film. I don't care whether you're, I've said this a million times, I don't care if you're buying a $59 Planet Audio amp or a $900 Voce amplifier. Correct. I'm going to install it the same. You're going to get the top quality service, bingo, done. Yeah. And we wanted to make sure that when we started this, that came through, meaning everyone saw what went into the install.
The camera is not just to show...
No.
Like, oh, this is what we do, and behind the camera, we do something different.
Yeah, because originally when we started filming, we had GoPros on our foreheads.
Correct.
And we decided to stop that because it would just look stupid.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm getting dizzy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like
the viewers is like, okay, what am I looking?
So
because sometimes you work, you have the GoPro right here, and you're doing this, like on the side, and the GoPro is in that side. Yeah. Like, what am I watching?
Yeah. The other thing too that we wanted to make sure is that it was entertaining but learning. So it was educational but entertaining.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that you watched it and you enjoyed yourself, and if you accidentally learned something along the way, okay, that was cool.
And I believe that you guys become like a big part of this show, because when we start doing the videos, some of these guys, they actually do a really nice comment and say, hey, why you guys don't do like straightforward, like get the silliness out of the equation and just go for here. And then we think, man, why not? Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
so
we've
we
definitely
try,
listened to. Well, in the install videos, we've never done silliness.
No.
That was just in the reviews.
That was when we started doing
when we started
videos.
reviews.
Yeah.
But strictly when we're working on cars, there was never any silliness in any of that.
That's why we take so much time to see if we're going to do the install video.
Yeah, because I just didn't want to deal with the frustrations of it. And there again...
And now it's ahead.
Oh, easy there, killer. But as far as, like, things taking longer or... things do take longer. We've kind of had to work into that because filming and installing sometimes does take longer, but we've gotten really efficient at filming them, so it really doesn't add that much more time to it because we're just... Really the hard part is just moving the camera around, and then me, of course, talking to the camera. But... It's not that, or you talking to the camera, I was to say us talking to the camera, but it's really not that much more time.
Yeah.
But as far as like the things that we edit out, you know, it has to pertain to those things. Is it educational? Is it entertaining?
And it's gonna like go around what we're trying to show.
Is it gonna help tell the story?
Exactly.
Because in the day we're trying to tell a story too. So if it makes sense to the story, it gets included.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense to the story, it doesn't get included. And the best example is when we're doing like speaker pop tests at the end. If speaker's wired up out of polarity, we'll say, all right, speaker's wired up out of polarity. If it moves through the story well, then we'll do that. But the whole idea is to try to just make it as real as possible, but not make it to the point to where it's like every other show on TV where it's like, oh my gosh, we have a problem. We need to fix this.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We don't want the drama.
No, I don't.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, like you say, we're gonna make it as real as possible. Like real. That's the real thing.
Right.
The only thing what we're trying to do is not boring you guys. Like, oh my god, you guys doing another one, and you guys doing another one. Like, you guys know that every car in here.
Let me tell you what. With as many Jeeps and F-150s we do,
I know
that's really hard to not make that boring.
And what do we say? What we can do now in the Jeep, we already show you guys like everything, you know.
We'll try
we're trying to come up with something new.
And in some cases, we'll actually look for problems that we can work around just to show, hey, look, this might be a problem for you. But as far as like filming problems and stuff like that, I mean, for the most part, I mean, if there's a tragic something. Things taking long aren't problems. That just means something took long. Is it a design flaw? Is it trying to get through a firewall? Is it just certain aspects like that really don't pertain to the story and aren't going to affect the installation?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we had to take the gas pedal, the brake pedal, the fuse holder all out so we could drill a hole through the firewall.
Yeah.
That adds like 2.5 hours onto the install so we could drill a hole through the firewall, still going through the factory grommet.
Yeah.
I could explain that in 10 seconds, and we're done. But as far as, I don't need to show you filming that. I can just say, hey, listen, we had to remove these 3 pedals.
Correct.
We had to drill this hole. This is why we drilled this hole, as opposed to just going through the master harness. Take a shot of it, show it, point to the bolts, and then move on. Now, on the back side of that, that's 2.5 hours worth of work.
Correct.
That sucks, but you guys don't need to know that, per se. As far as real time, you don't need a time lapse.
No, because that will be just like
it gets silly.
Yeah,
and it gets boring.
Yeah, no.
And we want to move the story along.
So
now, every now and then, we'll run into an issue with like a product. Like a product's bad, and there again, if the product's bad because it just shipped bad, then we'll just replace the product. And nothing's perfect. That doesn't happen all that often, but it's not like we're gonna say, hey man, X brand sent us this amplifier and it doesn't work and we're having to replace it. Bro, that sucks.
No.
We're not Velocity or Discovery Channel. That's what they're going to do because they want people to go like, oh my gosh. You know,
no,
that's not the story we're telling. No. Now, if we have a product where there's a stupid issue with it, like for example, like when you're trying to add a backup camera to something and the module needs to sit in the car for 10 minutes and
shut the
sync
doors, roll the windows up
with the car, and they don't bother to put that in the instructions, we're going to make a point of saying, hey, listen, this isn't in the instructions, this is what you have to do. Now, on the backside, we might have had to call the vendor. We might have been dicking with it for, yeah, I know. We might have been screwing with it for 2.5 hours, not knowing what the heck is going on. We finally get to resolve the issue. We don't want you to hear all that garbage. We want to just show you the solution and be like, hey, this is what we found out. Magically, here you go. That tells the story.
How did you do that? Did you bring your magic today?
Yeah, exactly. No, I know how to use a digital multimeter. So that's why, like, they're by no means are the videos rainbows and perfect on the other side. But if it's not anything that is, I mean, if it's just the day-to-day mundane silliness of a piece of shrink wrap but bad, the ring terminal, we forgot to put the shrink wrap on it, or you put the car back together and forgot to ground the amplifier, or you know, silly, or we put the RCAs in upside down and backwards because Kenwood is different than Pioneer and Alpine. There's no reason for us to show you that.
I forgot to plug the USB.
Because, yeah, exactly. Those really don't help tell the story. Yeah. They're just... Now, sometimes they do.
Yeah. No,
sometimes they do.
And it happens, you know?
Just like in the shortest video we've ever done, where you were putting the dash kit on, and I'm sitting there going, tuck the wires in.
But it's like, okay. Hey, buddy, you know. It's an orange cable just hanging right there. I think that you have to tuck it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as far as that goes... Yeah, we'll show that because that helped tell that story.
Yeah.
So
and like how you guys see in the video, like more things happen, and then you're like, ah, man, I can't believe it. Okay, let's try again.
Yeah.
And
a lot of the times too, what'll happen is if we do get a new product in, we're not going to film it the first time.
No.
We're always going to try to film it the second time because the first time, sometimes, not all the time, like a lot of like.
If we're kind of familiar with the product already, we do it.
But like,
you know?
there again, like the video we did on the Ford F-150 dash kit, we have one video that's called all the things that can go wrong with the Ford F1 dash kit or F-150 dash kit because we found them all out. We literally screwed them up and had all these issues, and it was like, okay, so here's all the things that you can do wrong.
Correct.
But a lot of the times, like I said, we'll do it a second time in another car.
Yeah.
Which could be months later, but at least we've done one, and we know that okay, here's the headaches, so that we can tell you guys those headaches and be like, okay, when you're putting this in, be careful of this, or watch that, or don't do this, or do this instead of that, or you don't really need these pieces, or you know, stuff like that, because it doesn't make sense to. We want to give you as much information as we can, and by us screwing things up sometimes and figuring this stuff out, that makes the video more informative by telling you this is what we've learned, here's how it goes, and move on. But yeah, you know, we're all here to learn about car audio.
Yeah.
Seeing us, you know, forget to plug in some RCAs isn't really that compelling.
No.
I don't think.
No, I mean, it happened. This is
right.
a real world, you know.
Yeah.
We're humans.
Yeah.
We're not like people like that.
Just to let Fernando just did his imitation of a robot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. they can't see you on the microphone.
I know. I'm like,
okay.
Anyway.
So, all right. Yeah. So that's that. Now, you know, in the end of the day, which you can pick up the end of the day 5-star car stereo shirt at teespring.store/5star. But at the end of the day, really what it comes down to is being confident, knowing your craft.
Yeah.
And if you don't know your craft, learn your craft. And by learn it, I mean, don't be afraid to fail, but don't get frustrated when you do. Okay? No. Because you're going to fail in life. You're going to fail in life, and it's what you learn from.
Yeah.
You know, when we do something wrong, we learn from it. You know, we have a steering wheel cover because we weren't smart enough the first time to not have one. Not saying we screwed up a steering wheel, but it's one of those close calls where you're like, wow, if that would have gone the other way, we could have scratched this guy's nice wood steering wheel. Correct. We need steering wheel covers.
Yeah.
Or a gear shifter cover. Or the difference between pulling the radio all the way out and unplugging it or just letting it rest on the side of the dash. You know, so patience is a combination of breathing, not being lazy, and not sweating the small stuff. And in car audio, those are really big.
Yes, definitely.
Especially the lazy part. You know, because a lot of people just don't want to get out of the cars. They're trying to hurry because we're all, for some reason, have to hurry. You got to get this done now. You have to hurry.
Now,
And
take
that
the time.
sucks.
Take the time. It's going to take you, I don't know, 2-3 seconds to go grab a blanket, grab...
Well, it might take me a little longer right now.
I don't know. Grab whatever you can have to protect the car that you work in. Even if it's yours. It's your car. Protect the car. Even if it's something else that you're doing in the house
Blue
or
tape
whatever.
is an amazing thing.
Whatever you can do, just take the time to do that. And believe me, you want to save so much time, money, and a lot of things.
And don't be afraid to walk away from something for a minute.
No.
But
not at all.
you know, don't walk away from it like never finish it. And there again, you know, the one thing that you know, one of the things we talk about all the time. This is what we're going to end on. Is there's always another car. There's always another job. And we're fortunate enough to say this, and I say that, and I mean that with all sincerity and all thankfulness, because there's always another car. For 28 years I've been doing this, there's always been another car, all right? So put your heart and soul into the car, and there'll be another car. Take your time, do the job right, there's going to be another car. You are, you know, the car that you work on and the work that you do is what sells you. What sells us is the work that we do. You guys all have gravitated towards it, and that's who we are. That's who we've always been. That's who I've always been. So patience is nothing more than having a goal, realizing it, and then just figuring out how to get from point A to point B without killing anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Car Audio Talk, the podcast.
Thank you to the Wolf.
Thank you to the Wolf for the wonderful question. We hope you guys found this somewhat informative. And if you didn't, well, hey, you know what? Maybe next time, leave us a comment down wherever you did this, and I'll get it, read it. And if it's something good, we might make a podcast about that. So... Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful night. You can find us at teespring.store/5star. You can become a Patreon member there again at Patreon. Go to 5-star. And of course, you can find all the tools that we use on our cool YouTube channel. If you didn't know we have that, we do have a YouTube channel. You can go to dnftooldrawer.com. There you'll find links to all the cool tools that we use to do this job. All right, guys, you have a nice night as always. We'll see you there next time.
Bye.
And with that, the show is over. I know what you're thinking. Really? So soon?
I know, right? That was so fast.
I know. But that was a great question, and we thank you so much. If the rest of you guys out there have questions, by all means, please don't hesitate to let us know. You guys get the podcast. You get to see us do it. This podcast is a lot for you. So if there's something that you would like us to do differently or talk about, one thing I can tell you is that anytime you look back at any of the shows we've done, they've all evolved into certain things. If you look back at From the Install Bay, that evolved into Car Stereo Diaries, which is also Install Bay was started by doing Facebook Live from the Install Bay. So all these shows evolve into different things, and turning and moving to do those is what we do. You know, you have to go where the audience goes, and
what you guys
you're
like.
the audience, so we're going to go where you want us to go, for the most part. For the most part. Don't get me wrong, we're kind of sticklers sometimes. Sometimes I'll do something even if one person is watching, just because...
It's my show!
It's my show, exactly. But thank you, as always, for being Patreon members. It means a lot to us. It's what helps us do this. So, cool. Thank you so much. And like we said before, you guys have a great night, as always. We'll see you later next time. Bye.